All right, welcome to our training. Can you please type if you can see me and if you can hear me as well? Just type or say with your voice for those who has the microphone.
All good. All good, Mila.
Thank you. Thanks, Maddie. So welcome to the training. I can hear you as well. I can see you. Awesome. So this training specifically designed for people who have attended week after previous week 2nd and 3rd of December in London. So we'll go through two very important topics which we were not able to cover on Sunday, but I believe these are one of the really important topics for all partners. And the fact that we will have this recording even better, because then you can listen again, and I will put this on YouTube, so then you can share with your teams. But the purpose of having this training is also to have a bit of interaction. I want to make sure that you understood clearly what you have learned on the previous training. And also, if you have any questions or any concerns, it will be really good if you ask the questions. It will allow me to answer. And as you probably know, there is no such thing as a bad question. Every single question is relevant. And even if you feel like you're not sure if you want to ask, please do ask, because it allows me to provide you with even more information. So let's first recap what you have learned from last week, from 3rd of December. We went through the group relationship where I have explained the difference between GTI, Eurasian Real Skyway Holdings, Skyway Invest Group, and Global Transnet. Then we went through potential of the Skyway technology, where again we talk through what are the potential of the technology. We're not just talking about what you can have today, which are pre-IP equity shares. We talk about what is there as the company grows, what will be the potential, what will be their potential capitalization, and also what is there for you, and what are the markets we're planning to touch and cover as the technology progress. Then we went to investment part. Investment part was based on teachings provided by Academy of Private Investor, which is training done by Andrew Havratov. And we went through 8 rules of private investor. 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you learned them all. And these are very basic rules. Everyone should really follow it. And if you see yourself, if you just will try to do them for at least maybe months or 2 or 3 months, you will see the good progress. So can you please type in the chat if you have tried actually to follow these rules since the training? Have you actually looked into financial plans? Have you actually went through 5 commandments? Have you tried to protect your expenses? Have you tried to put aside 10 to 30% from your income? So can you please put pluses or minus if you haven't? If you went through all these rules since I explained you them 2 weeks ago, and have you really tried? Haven't you really tried to implement them? So put plus if you have and minus if you haven't. Daniel, Petro, Madalina. Perfect. Sergey, not yet. Thanks for being honest. Okay, and the rest of the people are still sleeping. Okay, well, it seems like we have a small group of active people. Then I will work with you guys. The rest of them, let them sleep. So perfect. Well, if you haven't yet tried, please make sure that you do, because again, it's very important. Not just learn a bunch of theory. And that today, it's not about theory, and the topics which I will cover today will actually entitle you to do some activities, because there is no point of just learning and not implementing. Whatever we shared with you over the weekend, it's very important actually you do and you try, you execute, because only by executing it, by doing it, you will have your experience. Then you can share with other people what your achievements are, what have you achieved by using these rules. And if you don't try yourself, then how would you know if that will work for you or not? So therefore, please make sure you always try and you always go through the teaching we provide you with, because lots of people went through all these rules. Myself, I'm doing it since I learned it, and I can tell you it's really changed the way how I manage my finance, and also the way how I look into different investment opportunities. So after we went into detail about the capitalization, remember how turn $1 into 1 million? Then we talk about a few examples where you realize, hopefully, that in investment world, it's all about, for how long you lock in your investment in. And the longer you have your investment locked under certain percentages, then the likelihood of achieving 1 million will be much more higher. So we're looking for the people who understand the value of long-term investment, but we're also looking for people who understand what is the capitalization and how today everyone in the world have opportunity to reach their financial goals by them using cumulative percentage and investing wisely in certain instruments which will provide them certain percentage which based on their financial plan will be enough for them to reach their financial goals. So that's pretty much about finance and investment. Part number 2, it was the marketing plan explained by Madalena. So she went through a career ladder with you guys. She explained very well the marketing plan, and also what are the potentials in our company, how you can use the marketing plan when you do the planning, and why it's important to know the marketing plan. Because at the end of the day, there are some people who asking myself and and other leaders, like, what is there for me in a company? What are my career goals? Well, these are your career goals, and depends how much you wanted to earn per month, or to put it correctly, depends on how many people you want to add the value. Then the outcome will be directly related to your income. So if you feel like today you're not earning enough, it's because you haven't touched many people. It's because you haven't done many presentation. It's because you haven't explored, you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. Because only if you go out of the comfort zone, and if you start talking with the masses, that's how you can impact larger audiences. And as a result of it, you will have more income in our company. Because don't forget, our income is not captured. We have unlimited earning potential. Only you, the one who limit yourself from earning 10,000 a month, or 20,000 a month, or 50,000 a month. I know some of you might say, what, sound like too cheesy, too simple. It is actually sound simple because it is, but execution, that's where it is not that very simple. And if you look at the network marketing industry overall, as Andre, you remember when Andre he talks, he mentioned that top earners in industry, they earning more than 1 million per month, and these are from various network marketing companies. But not every single person would ever reach this status. But it's not because they're not allowed, or it's not because there is some barriers, because themselves they act as the barrier for their own career growth. And I know people in our company who just they want to achieve something, they go and deliver, and they do whatever it takes for them to deliver, and they will be successful. And opposite, I know the people who would always come up with excuses, that doesn't work, the people that don't respond, like the presentation doesn't go smooth. So it's all about yourself and your mindset, and this is the topic which we will cover today. But it's directly linked with the career ladder. So if you're looking for, again, long-term business, if you're not just here to earn money and disappear, or earn money and do other businesses, if you're looking for long-term profitable business, fruitful business, then definitely consider this as one of the best opportunities, and I will explain you why today later on in the presentation as well. So we went through the marketing plan. Madi, she explained very detailed what are the difference between the different positions and how you can grow within the company. and we stopped after Andrei Havratov session. So we have Andrei Havratov. He was our guest, special guest, and he talked about potential of the Skyway technology, potential of the Skyway Invest Group business development, and also he touched the topic related to like new economy of the world and how we and our companies can really be a solution for crises which will happen for the next few years, crises such as labor robotization, that lots of people will lose the job because we live in a world where people now, certain skills are already replaced by machines, and so on and so forth. So there's lots of predictions that for the next 10-15 years the world will be a completely different place. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it just is the way it is, and for many business professionals, it's actually the good thing. And I'm a big fan of technology. I think technology is supposed to make our life better and smoother. But at the same time, for some people who are working in a shop, so working in certain environment where the skills could be replaced, of course, this is the biggest threat. And we can see now, like in London, for example, and I know most of you from UK. Last year, especially, we had lots of strikes where metro workers, they would go on strike because they replaced by machines, and we don't even have so many people attending the stations, because we don't need them that much. We can buy the tickets from machine. We don't need to have a person who will sell us ticket. Same happens like in many industries, like if you go to Tesco or any other shops, there is a terminals when you can buy the tickets yourself. You don't need to anymore to have cashier to serve the people. So therefore, Andre, he explained very well what is there for us as a part of the business, but also what we can offer on the bigger scale to the world for the next 5, 10, 15 years, and so on and so forth. And remember, he also talked about cryptocurrency world, and he compare what is the potential which we can provide working together with Dr. Unitsky on a technology side compared to a cryptocurrency market, which people now, they're crazy about it. They invest in tons of money, but they don't even understand the full potential, and they don't understand what they missing by not choosing something like a Skyway. And they decided to invest in the various of ICOs, 90% of which are actually will never happen. So we went through lots of content last time, and I hope now I give you a bit of debrief where we started last time and where we have finished our session. And I really hope that you took lots of notes, because for those of you who wanted to do the business, and majority of you are, and I guess that's why you're here, you can use this data when you do the presentations. So you can use these examples when you explain people, when you talk to the investors, when you talk to people who wanted to become investor, but maybe they're not sure because they don't have enough confidence. So you can use all these facts and figures to not necessarily prove people, but explain them why we believe that this opportunity only happens once in a lifetime. And we're not just saying it to sound, bold and important. That's how it is, because the company has massive impact. And what we have achieved so far also tell us that we are on the right track. And majority of you, I know that you've been following myself and Armand on Facebook, and you've probably seen the videos from Minsk, which we took last week. And it was the first time in the history of companies where they organized event and invited company directors to actually sit inside of the unibus and take in the ride. And the reason why they could do this, because recently a company have achieved full certification for city transport. We are not yet announcing this on social media, because there are a few documents main companies still looking to receive, but we know that certification has been completed. So therefore, it's like milestones we went through, idea to have a certified transport, and it's very big. And I really hope that all of you here understand what business you're in, because again, this business is not happening every day, not on a scale as we have here in Skyway Invest Group, and not in scale as Unitsky planning to build the projects which will cover entire world. So that's pretty much a recap. Hope it was useful. Can you please put pluses for those who are who remember the last session, and for those who, like when I went through the slides, if you understand what was the content behind the slides. Thank you, Petra. Sergey, Momchil, Mariana, Daniel. Thank you. Sorry, this is my first webinar. What does unit represent? 1 unit is equal to $1. So if you're saying 1,000 units, it means $1,000. So 1 unit is $1. And Josephine, if this is your first webinar, you can definitely be here, and it's great that you're here because we'll go through some business part, but then you would also need to have a look at other webinars, because this one is for people who are partners and above. So who already understand everything about technology, about investment, and for people who look into the business and they ask the question, okay, how? What are the tools I need to make my business grow faster? What knowledge do I need to have for me to grow my team exponentially? So that is the subject of this webinar, and my objection today is to show you what are the tools you need to have. And we covered half of the session, well, 70% of the session during our live event in London, and today we have another 30%, which I will cover with you right now. Awesome. Okay, well, let's start. So part number 2, building successful business. Please take a print screen of this. So what you can see on your screen is actually breakdown Skyway Invest Group business system. So what we have here, we assume that before you even start to do the business, you need to have your client list, right? And here you can see client lists with 300 names up to 1,000 names. From my experience, usually people have more than 300 friends on their Facebook, and they have more than 300 people they know. I'm not talking about, your best friends, but overall people who you might come across, people who you might went to school with or university, or your ex-colleagues, your ex-boyfriends and girlfriends, your friends. So like 300 people at least you all should have. So your homework number 1 will be is to write it down, all these people, create the list where you would have at least 300 people up to 1,000. If you have more than 1,000 is great. And remember, in London, we had I asked audience, how many people you have on your client list, and we had a lady who raised the hand that she had more than 5,000 people. So if she would be able to bring this 5,000 people to our network, she would be one of their, top earners in the company. Because even though a company today, we can provide a very, very good the marketing plan and business potential, we're still young and we're still small, because we're only in the business 3 years, and only for the past year we're receiving news almost on a daily basis. Only in the past year we start putting everything together, and Ecotechnopark looked as proper place where we do tests for transportation. Before it was like empty land, few stations not even yet been built. So the first year was a bit slow, but last year we received a massive growth. So the people today with the team of like 5,000 in these structures, these people, they're earning very, very good money. And when I say in very good money, we're talking about earnings from 30,000 per month and more. But these 5,000 people needs to be qualified. So I'm not talking about just, random people who might not even invest. I'm talking about if you're looking into like into the business from network marketing perspective, and you know your leads or you know your clients, then your conversion in our business should be at least 60 to 70%. In Australia, conversion is 90%. So certain countries conversion will be more, certain countries conversion will be less. It all depends on your skills. It depends how you do the presentation, and depends how well you know the content, and so on and so forth. But if you have today 5,000 people in your structure, then trust me, this foundation for you will give you a massive start in our business because of the high conversion, because of the product itself, and because we are, as I mentioned, we are still young company. So the likelihood or probability that some of your friends and family ever heard about Skyway is almost equal to zero, because no one heard about Skyway. Majority of the people, they don't even know what is a Skyway. So for us, almost every single new person we met is potential lead. So therefore, for you to start to be involved in a business, number one, what you need to do is put your client list together. You do it in Excel sheet, you do it in Google Documents, it's entirely up to you, but you need to put everyone you know. And my advice to you, never analyze too much the people who you put in a list. Because I'll give you my example. When I was putting the list together, like most of the people I will put in my first list, I would knew. So these were my friends or family or like people I work with or study with. So then I would put the name, and let's say I will come up like Oksana. Then, oh no, I remember Oksana, she was never really interested in the business. No, I will not include her. Then I will put like Maria. Oh well, Maria, she always struggled for money. Then probably she would not find this business attractive or investment attractive. No, I'm not going to include her. But actually, then I realized with the time, I still I will still approach Maria and I will still approach Oksana, and these actually people who invest a lot in the business. So you see, when I try to judge my people based on previous informations about their life, it might not be correct today. So therefore, when you put the list together, don't prejudge people, or don't think that they might not be relevant. Why, instead of you thinking, why don't you approach them and ask, and then you will know if they're interested or not. You see my point? And this is like one of the very big mistakes, especially when people come into the business. They will start excluding all the closest friends and family because they assume that they might not be interested. But you never know unless you go and try and you go and talk to them. So therefore, never prejudge, and always put your list together the way it is. So whatever the names coming in your mind, put them all, write it down, the details, the telephone number, the social media, whatever you prefer, but have a list. Only after you have a list, you need to do step one. What is step one? Step one is invitation to a meeting. When you call or when you talk to a person for the first time and you invite them for meeting. Step number two is meeting itself, is appointment, when you actually sit down with the person in one-on-one, or you can have yourself, your sponsor or your partner who introduced you to the business, and that person. Step number three is presentations, online and offline. And as you know, we do run weekly webinars. They online, and also we have our presentations in office where you can invite your people. So for some of you, if you're not feeling yet comfortable to do presentations yourself, then you can do step one. And then step three, like you can do step one, which is invitation, but then you invite people not for personal meeting. You can invite people for the presentations. But before you invite them to the presentation, you need to provide them with some basics, idea what is there for them, like why they should attend the presentation. And step number four, regional conferences, which happens once in 3 months, where we would anticipate the larger audience. And usually step number four done by corporate side of the business, where we would have as speakers from with the various countries, or even Andre, he can come and add value to the conference. And we usually do this once in 3 months. So it's a big conference for everyone, and next day usually following by the training. So this is our business system. So we have, again, 4 steps. Step number one, invitation to meeting. Step number 2, meeting itself. Step number 3, presentations, online, offline. And step number 4, regional conferences. And now today we will concentrate on only step number 1 and step number 2. Why? Because step number 3 done by professionals. So we have qualified speakers who run the presentation on a weekly basis from office. So we have Alena, Madi, and Aneta, and also weekly webinars. And from January onwards, we will change the system slightly. So we'll have more meetings, so more valuable time for you to invite your people to the office presentations. And also we will have more frequent webinars like around the world, because we now have a few regions who are very actively working and building the network. Include Norway, Australia, Oman, Italy, and we'll put together some global marketing plan where depends where from your people you can invite them to certain webinars. But step number 3 is done by corporate or by people who are qualified speakers, and step number 4, regional conference, is also done by corporate or someone who is again qualified as the speaker who can add the value. So today our job is to go through what you need to do for you to have the first presentations, how you need to invite people, and what exactly you need to tell them while you have them in the room. So let me ask you, before we go any further, do you know what is a qualified question? Put the plus, what is qualified question? Or minus if you don't know what is qualified question. Okay, so qualified question would be question to qualify the person if he or she is suitable. So you would ask the qualified question and the answer should be yes. Let's say I'm asking you, are you interested to earn extra money? So I'm qualifying you, are you interested to earn extra money? Then the person will say yes. Or would say, are you interested in creating a new business where you can change the people's lives? Again, qualified question. Or I might ask, are you looking into different investment opportunities? Also qualified question. Or another one, I can say, are you interested to learn about technology which can change the people's life and which can impact and save our planet? Again, qualified question. So qualified question would be those questions when you try to qualify your opponent or your client to see if he or she ready to receive more information. And in our business, we have 3 main pillars or 3 main aspects how you can qualify people. Number 1 is the business network. So we have a people who wanted to do the business because they either looking for additional income streams, or they fed up to have 9 to 5 job, or they're looking for different opportunities, or maybe they just want to add additional income streams, or maybe they simply fed up with the job and they're looking for something with more freedom. They wanted to work from home, they want to travel the world, and they're looking for making money opportunities. So the business network is number 1, and it is the most important. So I want you to take the note and put the escalation mark. Very important. Business. If you look at our statistics, we have raised more than $60 million so far. And when I say we, it doesn't mean just Skyway Invest Group. We have other companies who do the funds raising, but in Skyway Invest Group, 70% of these funds were raised for by people who actively doing the business. Those are professionals who build the network. Because imagine if we would have taken the commission out of equation. Let's say Unitsky will say, you know what, guys, forget about network. We will not have a network from now on. It's going to be only uni level. So you bring investor, and I will pay you only uni level commission. Or even worse, you can become co-owner of the technology. You can invest in technology, but there is no commission scheme at all. So if you like technology, you invest and that's it. Then you sit back and you wait till we build. Do you believe that we would have achieved what we have achieved for the 3 years? I don't think so. It is not because people are doing this business purely because of the money. But money and commissions play a huge role because at the end of the day, you spend in your time, right? Some of you spend in your money to travel and to see the people. Some of you have a meeting at home. Some of you have a meeting at the coffee shops or like whatever it is, at the restaurants. So you spend your time, you spend your money, and it's lots of things which you need to invest into. You need to invest into yourself. You need to invest into education. And then today, you need to pay your bills. You need to pay your rent. You need to pay your travel. You need to pay food and other commitments which you might have. So if we would have taken the commission out of equation, then for people, it will be impossible to do the business with the company because this company is not designed for people to receive the profit or to receive any money until the company goes to IPO. So for majority of us, it will be a no-go. So imagine how many people company would lose if they would have taken out the commission, if it was just one-off investment, and we would not achieve what we have achieved today because it will be impossible. How many people Unitsky and his team can talk to, or how many people he can hire for the full-time business development role? Not so many because we are still a startup, right? Today it's Viktor Baburian, and he pretty much the business development department for Unitsky, So therefore, by us having this network part is crucial. And that's why in Skyvenvest Group, we emphasize a lot on the business. We want to show people that, yes, it's amazing to invest, and you all should invest if you believe in technology. Technology itself, it's an amazing product because we have a direct impact of the people life. We can save, hundreds of thousands lives, which wouldn't been, wasted in road accidents. Like we can save the humanity, we can help the planet Earth, we can help animals, we can connect the places where transportation cannot be built. We can build green, ecologically friendly solution, and as a result of it, we have a direct impact to people health and to our planet, which is amazing tool. But again, if you would ask to do all this for free, would you? Unfortunately, I guess the question is, the answer would be no, because I have A, B, C, D. I have my rent, I have my family to look after, I have my bills, I have to do this, this, and this. And for me, I have only 24 hours a day. So if I have my full-time job, then I would not have much time to do this business. So therefore, business and network very important. So number one, what you would want to qualify people is for business. The first question which you would want to really ask the people, are you interested into creating different income streams? Are you looking into different business opportunities? Are you tired of working, I don't know, from 8 to 5 and having your boss? Would you like to travel the world? Would you like to be involved in a business where you acting as your own boss? So this is number one, is concentration on the business. Number two is investment education. And today people invest in money into technology. So therefore there needs to be fully educated what is investment basics. They need to understand that unless you invest in yourself, in your brain, only that how you can have a knowledge which then you can implement. And again, back to the early what I mentioned, if you guys don't do these 8 rules of private investor, if you don't understand them, if you don't learn them, then what is the point of attending all this trainings if you don't use the information you've been provided with? So therefore, please make sure whatever information you're given, you follow the steps, because we do this for your own benefit. Remember, Andre mentioned during his session about the statistic, how many people won the million. So what happened to these people? If you look at the statistics, majority of the people who won their first million or whatever the money, they will end up losing this money. Why? Because we never been told in schools how to multiply our money, how to do investment, how to save and multiply our money. We've been told how to spend, and we've been told how to go to work and job and work for somebody else. So therefore, it's important for you not just earn your money, but then at the end of the day, what do you do with this money? How you can put this money into different instruments, and these instruments will generate for you even more profit or more assets. Remember, we discussed what are the assets and liabilities, and we discussed them. Reach that what is called the different mindsets when you have poor class mindset, a middle class and rich mindset. So the rich people, they not creating liabilities. Rich people, they creating assets. So for you to, in order for you to think like a rich man, you need to understand the basics, which mean that you need to invest into education, and you need to learn about investment. And that's exactly what we do in Skyway Invest Group. So we teach you, once the company will go to IPO, and the company will go to IPO within the next 2 to 4 years, then what to do with all your money. At the end of the day, if you have a today portfolio like 1 million or 2 million, you might think now, wow, it's big money. It's a big money compared to what? To your current salary? Well, yes, maybe. But if you compare this 1 million in terms of the what is there available on the marketplace, let's say you want to buy 3-bedroom house in London. Well, half of the million or more already gone. So then you're left only with half of the million, and then you also would not want to work anymore, right? Because like if you have this 1 or 2 million, assume, then you would not be looking for to have a job to work for someone else. You would want it to be your own boss for your own time. But then even this 1 or 2 million is not enough, right? Majority of us here in the room, and I know some of people here, we are now 30s, right? Early or late 30s. So we have another probably 50 years to live. So I hope you agree with me that 1 million is not going to cover your next 50 years of your life. And taking into consideration the lifestyle you want to have. Of course, if you just will spend 1,000 per month having rent in a room in London, then maybe it's enough. But I'm sure people here with big ambition than that. So therefore, it's very important to learn what you do with your money afterwards, and that's what the investment education all about. So your second qualified question could be, are you interested into different investment opportunity? Are you interested to be involved in an organization where we emphasize on investment education, so we can teach you a lot about education, but we can also provide you with the tools where you can park your money, where you can invest your money. So that's number 2. And number 3, it's technology, which is the Skyway. And today in Skyway Invest Group, the only tool where we can ask people to be enrolled in a business or investment is through pre-IPO equity shares of the Skyway technology. And as I mentioned to you previously, this is the best opportunity ever, because today people, they are investing into main technology. So they becoming co-owners of intellectual property. What that means that these people, they would have pre-IPO equity shares entitled to have a dividends, which means that if you invest today a few hundreds or 1,000 or whatever the amount of money you invest, once the company will go to IPO, you will not just have opportunity to sell your portfolio and receive the money, but you also will be entitled for the dividends. And dividends is the passive income on a quarterly basis. By contractual agreement, Dr. Unitsky, he agreed to provide 20% of the company profit to be distributed among the all shareholders. So this would be your passive income for the years to come. And the company have a plan to be in the market for the next 100 years. So therefore, if you not sell all your portfolio, then you would have opportunity to receive lifelong dividends, which could be not just for yourself, but this is an asset which you can pass to your children and further generations. So again, the qualified question for technology side could be, as I mentioned previously, are you interested to learn about technology which can change the transportation industry globally, and as a result it can help the people to live more healthy, to have a better lifestyle, and at the same time we can help the planet Earth. And there are lots of challenges today related to the pollution levels and overpopulated cities, and we can address these concerns by implementing new technology. Are you interested to know what is this technology about? You see, so if you break it down like this, for the three main parts, part number one is the business, part number two, investment education, part number three, technology. So when you invite people to your meeting, all what you need to do is to ask the qualified question. So you ask the qualified question. If the answer is yes, you're saying, okay, I have a perfect, that's exactly the reason why I called you. Let's have a face-to-face meeting tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Please make sure that you bring with you your notes or something, because lots of materials I want to share with you. Like, that's it. Very simple, very straightforward. Your invitation to a meeting should be very short and very simple. If people ask you during this invitation to meeting, if they ask you different question like, oh, can you give me more detail, or what is this all about, can you explain me more, your job is not to give them too much. Because let's say I would ask someone like I don't know, person A. I'll ask question related to technology. I would say, "Oh, are you interested to be involved in the business, technology?" Da, 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 da. And the person say, "Oh, yes, I'm very interested." So then I will say, "Okay, well, let's meet tomorrow. I want to show you amazing opportunity to be involved in the company which deals exactly with technology I mentioned previously." And if pastor would say, "Oh, hold on, can you please give me details? What is the company name? What does the company do?" And if I would start answering the questions, I would say, "Oh, it's called Skyway Technology. They do elevated train solutions." Then the question will be, "Oh, can you tell me more? What is the elevated train solution?" Then I will end up doing the presentation for that person by answering many his questions. And what happens is, if you do the presentation in the right way, then you can structure presentation in the right way. You will, which I will cover in 10 minutes. But if you will just provide them answers for the questions, it will be like they will bombard you with the questions which might be not just in the right order for you to unleash the all potential, but also some question could be like completely put the answers can be confusing for them. So instead of them showing more interest, they can feel like, it's all confusing, it's too complicated. Why don't we leave it? It just is too much. And I know specifically for new people, if you're new to this business, you're super excited and you want to share this opportunity with everyone. And majority of the new people, they will end up telling too much on the first invitation. You will almost put the entire presentation into the first invitation, but it doesn't work like this. So the purpose of step number one, invitation to a meeting, is to create this hook. You want to make sure that people are looking forward to attend the meeting, that they are interested to learn more from you. And this is the purpose of the step number one, which is invitation to meeting. It is not do meeting on the phone. It's, do meeting on the first go. It's about ask them qualified question. If they're interested, then you provide them with the time and you schedule next meeting. That's all. In certain cases where you will, let's say, to have a certain people where they will really demand something, they will say, you know what, I'm not going to show up to the meeting unless you show me what it is, because like you just sound like so overwhelmed and I have no idea, I haven't seen you for 5 years, now you're calling me out of the blue and you're talking about some amazing opportunity. On these cases, you can send them a video, the brief video, the one we have on YouTube about technology development, where it talks about different types of transportation. This our promo video, which is like 2 minutes short, and this video is shown usually during the webinars. So you can show them this video and say, you know what, okay, I will send you a video. It's about the business. This is the company. I want to talk to you while I see you. So please watch the video before our meeting, and then we can meet and discuss. And that's it. Don't send any business plans. Don't send the marketing plan. Don't send them registration link. Do not send them anything else apart from video. Just short video and say, this is the company I want to talk to you about when I see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. That's it. So is it clear how you invite people for the first meeting and what to do and what not to do? Can you please put pluses if it's all clear? If you have any questions, please do ask questions. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if let's say we try now simple scenario. So the person said, after you ask the qualified question, the person excited and he said, yes, I wanna see you. But what if person said no? So if let's say I'm asking you, Daniel. So I'm asking you, hi Daniel, it's Mila. Remember, we met with you like last conference, business conference. How are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you, Mila? Da, da, da. So then we start, talk. Hello. Okay. Then we start, just talking about like how are you and what do you do, the stuff. And then I will say to you, Daniel, I came across one of a really interesting business, and you mentioned that you're looking into different income streams. Are you still interested in this? And let's say Daniel will say, no, I'm not interested. I'm cool. I don't need any businesses. Then I said, oh, well, amazing. I'm glad that you find the business, you're happy with. But also, apart from the business side, the company I'm working with now, or company I'm cooperating with now, we emphasize a lot on the investment opportunities. And of course, like I understand that while you do the business, it will take lots of your time. But when it comes to investment, you can just invest, one off, and then you can wait for the next 2 years when company go to public, and that's how you can earn, passively. Would you be interested to know about investment opportunities? If Daniel said, no, I'm not interested, not in business, not in investment opportunities, I'm not into investment, I'm like, whatever. Then the last one would be, okay, well, it seems like it's maybe wrong day for me to call you. But hey, anyway, well, if you're not interested in business and investment, it's fine. It's your decision. I just wanted to let you know because I know the company is growing very big. I know I'm in the business myself, and I know lots of people are grateful just because I share with them this information. So, but it's fine if you're not ready or whatever reasons. It's up to you. But can I ask you just one favor? We're now doing opinion polls because the company I'm dealing with, that's in relationship to transportation industry. And probably I don't need to explain. You live in London. There are lots of delays every time journey been cancelled. We have a horrible traffic jams, and like I had enough personally, and have a even a few friends who had accidents. And I believe that in 21st century we should have transportation much more smoother and better than we have today. And then today we're still using the same trains which been built 100 years ago. So what do we want to do? We want to go to the government and propose them with alternative transportation solution. So we are doing opinion polls where we ask ordinary people to express their opinion about current transportation industry. So if you can find the at least like literally few minutes of your time, I would really appreciate if you can answer the questionnaire. I will send it to you, because at the end of the day, regardless if you want to do business or investment, we do something good for the planet Earth, and we do something good for every single person who live in a big city and who fit up with the transportation. Are you okay if I send it to you in your email? You just complete the survey, shoot it back to me, and then I will really be appreciated, and I can use your opinions once I go to the government and once we start talking about implementation this transportation system in London. Simple, right? So do you really think that Daniel will tell me, no, I don't give a shit, or no, I don't care? Very unlikely. I would tell you 99% of people, they will tell you, okay, send me survey. Of course, I know the traffic is horrible and I'm in the same situation. So you see, you try to relate kind of, we all facing the issue with the transportation industry. So I didn't tell him something like, wow, something new. What I did, I shared the pain with him. So I said to him, that's how I felt. That's how, majority of the people feel. And if you're on the same page, then can you help me to put your to put a questionnaire in, answer these questions, because then I can use this while I propose this transportation to the government. And what happened? Yes, you might not have a meeting with Daniel, but number one, you got his contact, you got his permission to send him the details about the company, the questionnaire. And the second one, I would also, before I finish the call, I would say, oh, you know what, do you mind if I just will keep you updates what's going on in the company in development? Because, well, you contributed like by expressing your opinion about transportation market, so you might as well to see like what is resulted to. So people will say, okay, sure, keep me in the loop. So the second one, you will receive email, and the contact will be ready to receive some information from you. And if you have a look at the conversion spam, only maybe 20% of the people, let's say, they will say yes straight away. Like in some cases could be 30. It depends again on your skills. In some people it's 40%. But let's take the worst case scenario. Only 20 people, like 2 people out of 10 will say, okay, yes, I'm ready. What to do next? We'll invest. But we have these 8 people who might not yet ready to invest today or to be involved in business today, but it doesn't mean that they will not be ready in a month's time or in 2 months. For some people, it taken them 2 months for them to make a decision, because then they go online, they check YouTube, they see the articles, they build the confidence. For some people, it might take a year. For some people, it can take even more. For some people, will come back to you when they will see Skyway listed in London Stock Exchange, and they're like, "Oh, that's this the company. Let me go back to her and ask if I can still, buying shares." So like it will click sooner or later. Every single person, like 99% of the people who ever talk on a topic of Skyway, whatever it's business investment or technology, sooner or later they will all join the business. Conversion of the business is 90%. It's a massive conversion compared to internet marketing, where conversion only 2 to 3%. In our business, because it's based a lot on one-on-one, based a lot on the live interaction, and we have a masses of updates every day. Something happen every day. So we have some exhibitions, we have a contracts or agreement signed, we have some delegation coming to Minsk. Like it's never stop in business. So conversion is much more higher because we have something new and fresh every day to share with people. So therefore, the worst case scenario, when you use reverse questions, which is opposite to qualify. So again, qualify will be the question where you qualify person, the person say yes. A reverse question will be your response on the qualified question if the answer was no. So reverse question would be, if you're not interested in business, what about investment? Reverse question would be, if you're not interested in investment, what about technology? So you try to reverse. And the worst case scenario, if it's no, 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 leave me alone. The way I just did, like little sort of dialogue, finish the call with civil position, or finish the call by asking your opponent or your client to fill up the survey, so then you can add this person to your database and you can feed them with updates. Also, you can say, for example, if the person, if let's say Daniel would say, well, you know what, I'm not interested in investment in a business, then I can say, okay, well, after you fill up the survey, so exactly same scenario, but then I can add, and also maybe the people within your circle who are interested in the business opportunities, because we are planning to expand now, and we are looking for business professionals who wanted to work for company, but we are not offering job. We are more like entrepreneurs, so you would have your freedom of the time and you can manage your day the way you like. Well, you said you're not interested. Maybe you have someone who will. So you see, you're not doing the presentation, but you're just planting the seeds. So you provide with brief overview, and then because he said he's not interested, I'm taking it away from him, saying, well, you're happy with your job, but maybe you have someone who would want it to do. And then logically what happen after, he will say, okay, let me have a look. I might have friends, or I don't know, let's say I'm busy, I don't have a time now. But once he will receive this email, once he go through opinion pool, and we have opinion pool online Aneta and Mari, they done few opinion polls which they previously used. And also in our website, if you go to landing pages, one of the landing page for you is actually opinion poll. So you can use either. But when after opinion poll, you can send the email, copy opinion poll, put the video about the business and say, oh, hey, thanks a lot. They've taken your time to fill an opinion poll. Please let me know once it's done. In the meanwhile, this is very briefly the video presentation about the business. So if you feel like there is someone who wanted to be involved in the business and who are looking for additional income streams, please do let me know because we are looking to expand. That's it. Happy days. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Take care. Regards. That's it. So very simple. And if you do this way, if you do the way I just explained you, it is very unlikely that the people would, they would say, no, I'm not interested. Or the people would say, you know what, it sounds like a pyramid. Or people will say, oh, what is this? It sounds too good to be true. It's very unlikely. You will only face objections on your first invitation only if you give too much information. If you provide people with too much facts, and if you go into presentations on your first call, that is very big mistake. Because for you to do the presentation, you need to be prepared. So you need to have a state where you're ready to do the presentation. But most importantly, person needs to be in a state when he or she ready to receive information. And if you just call in someone randomly, if you haven't seen this person for maybe years or months, then more likely, instead of you being perceived as the positive person who shared the opportunity, you will be perceived as the person who desperately needs money or desperately needs business. That's why you call me. Now you try to sell me something. Do you guys see the difference? Do you see yourself like why certain mistake happens in your presentation while people being put off? Can you recognize why this could happen after we run through this, step number 1? Put the pluses. If you actually understand the importance of invitation is just designed to invite. It doesn't design to run the presentation. And maybe you experience previously, or you've been put in station when you end up doing the presentation, then person was negative about it. Do you understand now why this could happen? Just put the pluses or put some comments. Would be good to have some feedback as well. Really helpful. Really helpful for reminding. Thanks, Elena. Are you learning something new? Perfect. Okay, great. Yes. All right. All right, moving forward. So we done step number 1. So now you know how to invite for meetings. You know what is qualified question. You know what is reverse question. You know that we have 3 main pillars in a business. In Skyvine Group, which is the business, investment, education, and technology. And you know that before you invite people, you need to have your client list, minimum 300 people, up to 1,000 and more. So now let's have a look how you do actually meeting. We call it rendezvous. I think it's French term. It means expected meeting or meeting itself. Take the print screen. I think it's quite useful. So what do you do when, let's say, I invited Marissa. So Marissa, she liked the idea about, so I qualified her. She liked idea about, let's say, business. So she said, yeah, I'm interested in different business opportunities. So I sent her a video and I invite her in a meeting, or maybe even without video. We have a meeting with her today at 12 p.m. So I'm meeting with Marissa. So the first what I'll do, I would say, oh, hey, how are you? I will hug her or will give her my hand, like some physical contact, because it's important for people to have a physical contact. it shows that you are open. It shows that I'm here for you, and vice versa. So it's really important to shake the hand, so give a hug, whatever. It depends what's your relationship with the person, but it's very important you to show some physical contact first, and you're not starting with the oh hi, oh let me show you a presentation. You do it like, how are you? First have a bit of introduction, like how you been, it's been a while, I haven't seen you, what's new, thanks so much to finding the time, I really appreciate, I think what you will what I'm just about to show you today will really change your life, or really believe that's it will add a huge value, and I can, well, the least I can promise that you will not feel like you're wasting your time. So that's number one, you do a very brief introduction and physical contact. Number two, you try to identify the needs. So you can say, you need to ask, so you came here because you said like you're interested to into different business opportunities, so you want to earn extra money. So why is that? What happened with your job? Like what are you looking for? What is your expected outcome of the meeting? Again, you can put them introduction and needs together, but then you need to do both anyway. Introduction makes sense, but needs are very important, because needs, this part is so crucial, guys. And I've seen so many presentations which were structured on the wrong way, not because a person doesn't know the content, but because person doesn't know the reason why his client come to him. Let me give you example to make it more like understandable. We had this one lady in our office, and she brought with her a client. She asked me to come to do the presentation, but I had another meeting, so was not able to cancel. So I said to her, I'm sorry, that tomorrow it wouldn't work. Make sure that you know the stuff, do the presentation yourself, and just make sure that you explain everything, like whatever this person require, to try to do presentations like in the way like I've been teaching you. Like she done presentation, everything went well, and the person, it was person who done presentation, investor and friend of investor, so it was three people. So friend of investor, she called me and she said like, oh, Mila, it's really shame that you were not there. And I was like, well, why? Like something went wrong? And she's like, well, yeah, my friend investor, she decided not to invest in Skyway, and she decided to invest in Bitcoin. I was like, what do you mean? How can she decided to invest in Bitcoin? Haven't you explained or compared what is the outcome if you invest in Skyway compared to the Bitcoin? Because you can do the basic calculations. You can use our projected capitalization. You can show that our market potential is 100 times larger and bigger than Bitcoin. So I was very surprised, and I asked her like, so how come she decided to go for Bitcoin? Why didn't you explain her? And then friend, she told me, she's like, well, you know what, the reason why, because the person who was in the presentation, she was talking about technology, but she was not talking about investment. So my investor, she lost her interest because she thought that she's coming to learn about investment, but she wasted her kind of 1 hour learning about technology, and she was not interested in all these technology specifications. You see how little thing like this, it's really messed up entire presentations. But most importantly, the outcome of the presentation was that person decided not to invest because she didn't understood the potential of investing into the business. I can talk about our company from technology point of view, business and investment, probably like, I don't know, 6 8 hours. But it doesn't mean that I will like talk with every single person for 6 hours to do the presentation. It's silly. So the presentation needs to be based on what is there for you. So therefore, clarifying the needs, it's crucial and it's very important. So you need to ask, what is this person who came for your meeting, what he's looking for? If you done the qualification question about the business, and the person said, yes, I'm looking for income streams, and you invite this person to your meeting, then after introduction, you need to ask, so you said you're interested into the business, so what exactly happened in with your current business? I would like, what is the situation? Why are you looking for different business opportunity? Why are you looking for money? So what is going on? Like, what are your plan? You need to identify the needs. If that person who done the presentation, she would have asked investor, so why you came, what are you looking for? An investor would say, well, I have 20,000 and I don't know, whatever, invest in Skyway and in Bitcoin. Trust me, the presentation will be different completely, because then you know exactly what person looking for, and then you base your presentation, like you structure your presentation based on their needs, not opposite. You don't try to put everything in presentation and present, because you don't know what is there for person. For me personally, when I decided to invest, it was because of the investment, because I was looking for investment opportunities. So all there's 4 hours of the presentation done by lovely Armand. The only probably like half an hour or 45 minutes was what I was needed. It's about investment. It's about to give me, the clarity. It's about to give me confidence that this opportunity is real. And at that time, it's funny. When I first met, Armand, like at that time everything was in Russian, and we had the longest ever meeting, like almost 4 hours of the presentation, because he explained me everything, like history of the Unitsky, history of how this string system was created. Like he done an amazing job. Don't get me wrong, but if I were completely random person, I would be like, "What is this? Oh, are you kidding? It's Saturday, 4 hours of my time." So therefore, like now we have everything, is we have all tools, you have all the documents, you have all facts, statistics, you have all proofs, you have investment memorandum inside of which you have a group structure, you have a certificate, like you have guys everything today. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just share with people facts and figures. So we don't sell, we show people opportunity, and that's a big difference. So therefore, once you identify people or person need, only then you go to presentation. And the presentation itself is 15 minutes, 20 minutes maximum. And your presentation will be based on above whatever the needs. That is the moments where you put most attention. So if person said, I'm here for investment, so you emphasize a lot on investment part, because that is what he or she there for. If person said, I'm engineer and I want to know about technology, then you specify more on technology part. Make sense? So after you done the presentation, which is 15-20 minutes max, then you go through Q&A. Usually objections, they will be very similar, so you can learn the common questions and answers, because people usually ask the same questions. If you're not sure about how to answer a question correctly, then it's better just openly said, very good question. I'm not sure what would be the right way to answer. Let me write it down. I will ask qualified people, and I will revert back to you. Don't try to come up with your own answers, because if you don't know information, the probability that you will provide wrong information is high. So we don't want to mislead people. We don't want to misuse information. We want to make sure that whatever information you provided is correct, is precise, and it's within the right time frame. So you're not saying, oh, I don't know, company might go to IPO next week, but let me find out. Like you don't do this. If you don't know something, it's fine. You just tell people openly that let me write it down, I will find out, and I will come back to you. And also objections, it's really tricky topic, is there are going to be some people who just like to ask the questions and they will just throw anything at you. So if you feel like you answer more than 3, 4, 5 objections, then you need to stop the person and say, you know what, I feel like there are lots of information. I can see that you have lots of objections, lots of questions. Think about what is the most important for you. What is this, burning question, which the answer on which will really give you confidence about the project. Really ask me something like which stopping you from being involved in a business. So it is not rude to do this way. You only do this when you feel like person give you lots of false objections. Because if you look at our human beings, we are created in a way that we are more negative than positive. There have been lots of studies where just to give you an example, it was this two studies in university where they will divide the people into two groups, group number A and group number B. And group number A, they were presented with the case study when they said, we had a new mayor in our region, and this mayor, he make 60% of people from that factory redundant. So what are your thoughts about this mayor? And people like, well, negative 60%, people lose the job. And the group B, they said, we have a new mayor, and he actually managed to save 40% of a job from that factory. What do you think about him? And people were like, oh, wow, it's amazing. He helped city to save the jobs. That's scenario A, scenario B. But the funny thing was, when they swap this scenario and now they present group A that, we had a new mayor and he saved 40% of the jobs. And group B, he fired 60% of the factory. The group A opinion to the mayor was still negative because the first information they received was negative about him. So it doesn't matter what was all the facts about the mayor, his still impact was the negative, even though he saved 40% of the job, but people think like, well, but he just, he lost 60% of the job. So it doesn't matter how much he saved, the matter of what was the losses. So they stuck on the negative. But most important, not just these findings, but if you look at the group B, so when they've been presented, that's the first they took him as the positive because he saved the job, but then option B, they told him that's because of him, 60% of people went redundant. Their opinion about mayor become also negative. You see how funny it works, our brain. Probably it's our instincts to to survive, so therefore we perceive more negative because we feel it's danger. But in both option A and option C, regardless if it was good or bad at the beginning, it still end up as the bad news for people, and they perceive the mayor as the bad guy. So therefore, when you do the presentation, there are going to be people who would throw the objections because they feel insecure, because they feel like like a threat, that this business can threat my comfort zone, or this business is a big threat because I never heard about this before, so something must be wrong because returns are too good. So therefore, kind of you need to, if you feel like there are lots of objections, you need to stop the person and you need to ask them, okay, please think about what is the true objections you have, because now you just bombarded me with the questions which are good, but then it shows me that you're fighting here with me. And even though I provided you all the answers, you're still not sure. So please tell me what is there that you're not comfortable with. So if you put this way, the person will come up with the real objections or something which is really worries him. And that's I recommend to do in any business. Like if you deal with the people and you feel like there's resistance, that you're trying to show something and the person take everything negative, just stop the person and ask them direct. So what is there truly that holding you back? It will help you big time with whatever job you do. Just trust me and try and see. Don't even trust me. Try to do yourself and you will see the results. So that's how you handle objections, and you reply an objection with the confidence. You don't dismiss the objections. You don't say, what a stupid question, or, what a douchebag. You reply them with, yes, I understand. That's how I felt too, but let's have a look at the facts. So let's say the person would say, the marketing plan looks too good. It look like a pyramid. You can say, well, John, to be honest, when the first time I saw this plan, I had the same thoughts too, like it's too good to be true because they give them massive commissions. But when I went to actually other companies who provide like with the network built-in, it actually the average they will give back to network 30 to 40%. So it's exactly same like what Amway does. Is it Amway pyramid? No, they have the business model which work for them. So same in our case, we are a different product, we're a different approach. We have a technology investment, education, and business, but we cannot be classified a pyramid just because we give percentages. These are average percentage from this industry, which other company provide to people, because we understand that if you're gonna spend this budget for advertisement, we don't even know if advertisement will ever bring the people. If we're going to take the commission out of the people, then we will lose huge opportunity, because people would not do the business with us, and as a result of it, we will not bring the investment to the company. And if you don't have investment to the company, it means that Dr. Yunitsky will never finish his technology, and the company will never go to IPO. So therefore, if you put this into scale to give people commission or never finish technology, well, of course, commission is something company happy to give, because at the end of the day, Yunitsky wanted to share with this opportunity with other people. So it's not just him and his closest circle successful. All the people who believed in him and believed in his technology also can be successful. You see, that's how you answer questions. Like you do it in a soft way. You don't just say, I told you this before. Like, oh my gosh, I just covered this in my previous slide. Are you what stupid? Like, don't put the people off. But when you work with the people, you need to be patient. You need to be soft with them, and you need to. Sometimes I repeat the things 5-7 times, and even today with the company representatives, I still have people who would ask me bloody the same questions again and again. And they are representatives. They do presentations themselves and they build the structures. Some of them have, few thousands people under them, and they still ask me the same questions as they asked me like a year ago. But it's fine, because this is our duty. If you want to work with the people, then you need to be patient with the people. If you don't have a patient work with the people, then maybe this business is not for you. Maybe then you need to work with the computers and do some, I don't know, internet marketing, where you or e-commerce. But even in e-commerce, you will end up working with people. So anyway, different topic. But what I want to say, make sure that once you do the presentations and when you cover objections, you do this in the right way. You don't get stressed, you don't get pissed off, you're not angry, you're calm, you're soft, you're straightforward, and you provide them answer with the confidence, and you don't say it in a way to put them off. You say it in a way that they feel like they are supportive, because we are building new culture. And then today, these are the people you will work with. This is your meeting. So you want people who you invite to the business to look at you as example, not like as, what, she's been so rude. Oh my gosh, and she asked me to the business with her? Hell no. So this is yourself. You are the biggest asset, but your people also biggest asset for you. Because in our company, you cannot be successful if you're alone. You can only be successful if you have a right team of the people who who support you, and you feed yourself back with energy, with knowledge, with support, with respect. And that's how it should be built. Okay. How do you make people with bad experience in previous investment believe in Skyway? Bad experience, I mean, they have been they have been what? They have been okay, bad experience. Well, you just said to them, like, if it's objection, you just tell them, well, I understand, and you just share. If you ever been through any company with a bad experience, you say, well, I've been in the same situation, and I lost money as well, because I was misled, or the company were not transparent. But it doesn't mean that every single company is bad, right? There's always some company who want to take advantage of the people, and some company who are not. And it's impossible to say that every single person is a bad person just because I came across two bad guys. Same with the business, same with investment worlds. Of course, it could be dangerous, but it's only dangerous if you don't know information. Again, information, it lead back to the knowledge. So therefore, why don't you take your time, do due diligence, or tell me what you need to have for your peace of mind and for your confidence that this business is trustworthy. But sorry guys, oh, excuse me. But what I can tell from my side, we are not just working with people. We're working with the government. So we are today have an agreement with the government. So my question to you, my friend, if you think that this is dodgy business, then do you really believe that our company representative and our company CEO would go to the president level? Do you really think that president of Belarus would have given the piece of land, 36 hectares of land, to build the business, which is a Ponzi or pyramid scheme? Do you really think we would open the office in Indonesia and India, and we would end up having, signed hundreds of MOUs for the real projects with the Minister of Transport? Do you really think Rodhook from Australia and with the biggest like Australia company, I reckon, who built the Sydney Opera House, they went to Minsk, they check every single paper, and do you really believe that they would be involved on some dodgy company and they will put their reputation on spot to build the Skyway if they knew that it's all rubbish and it's all Ponzi? Of course not. You see, that's how you should answer. You should provide them with enough facts and figures, because it will be much more difficult if you're talking about some online business, right? Like if you're talking about the business where people just click on advertisement and they receive the money, well, you can say, well, it seems like a pyramid or scam, and it's going to be hard to tell that it's not, because previously it was the company who would use the same concept and they disappeared over the night. But you don't have much proof or much facts to change the people's mind if he believed that it's Ponzi scheme. But in our case, there is not a single company in the world who done what we do on a scale like we do. No one ever created transportation startup where people would have opportunity to become co-owners. So we are very unique, and we are doing it now with you. We are on a journey now, and we are not just working with the people, we're working with the government, we're working with the engineering companies. They're the one who will build it. So we're not talking about some online intangible business. We're talking about real brick and mortar business. We're talking about tangible projects which is up and running today in Minsk. It's real. So you cannot tell it's not real because it exists. So do this way. Answer the objections with the facts, which are they are available for everyone to learn. But if you do this way, if you explain the way I just did, then the person will likely hear like, oh yeah, now I see your point. You're right. Make sense? Did I answer your question? Momchil Boryanov. Are you okay? Sound clear? Perfect. How we do survey in person? You can do survey in person, or you can do it online. You can use Mailchimp, not Mailchimp, SurveyMonkey. It's online business platform where you can do this survey, but also survey available in your back office. If you go to partner tools, it's going to be different micro websites, and one of them is actually survey. So you can use the survey. It will be embedded with your registration link as well. So when people fill up the survey, they will automatically be registered under you. If you don't feel like you want to register people, because I believe that it's always better to tell your intentions. Like if you want to register people, then you should have add, I will send you a survey. Once you complete the survey, you will be registered in our company. If you don't want them to be registered because you haven't managed to build a good rapport with the people, you can just create own survey and collect the email, and then you just feed them with the news. So you can add them to our WhatsApp groups, or you can add them to our Skype groups or Telegram groups, and then we will feed them with information what is going on. So you can either use the tools we have, which is back office survey, and people will be registered under you automatically after they can complete the survey. Option number 2 is ask Aneta. She has done some survey previously, so she can share with you text as well. And number 3 is do it yourself. So whatever you prefer. Okay, are we clear on this? Any other questions? Okay. So after you handle objections, you do a bit of motivation. So you just try to get some also feedback, and you tell them, well, as I said, we have a business development plan which is different stages, so I really encourage you to look at this now, because if you wait too long, we're going to different stage, the prices will be different, so you will really lose opportunity to acquire larger portfolio, because each stage the price will increase. So you show them gain and pain part where you want people to act now. Again, you don't want to do the presentation and then, oh, okay, let's see how it goes, I might contact you. No, you want to make sure that after you've done the presentation, you cover objections, then you tell them that they need to be involved now because ABCD. because we have a next stages, because the price will increase, because for the same money you will receive less, because we're looking for people to do the business now, not in a month's time, not in two, now. So if you're interested, make sure you act, as soon as possible. Then you go through options, like just to have a discussion, get a bit of feedback, see what the person want to do, how they feel, what is their impression, have they ever came across anything like this. So you try to get the excitement back. So you talk, then you do the objections, you handle objections, then you motivate them. So they said, oh, we have this opportunity now, because when we go to next stage the price will be different. So now tell me, what your thoughts are. And then you quiet. Then you're not asking what your thoughts are, and then you're answering. And I've seen that. You will be surprised with some people. They ask the question and they answer themselves, and then you sit and why you ask the question if you already answered? So I ask the question. So what do you want to do next? What are your thoughts are? And then stay quiet, because you want to hear their feedback. It's all about them. It's not about you. We know that you know information. We know that you know the content and you're excited about the company. But now it's not about you, it's about them. Are they excited? What are their thoughts? What are their feelings about it? What is their feelings about the presentation you just done? So you need to ask them the question, like how you feel, what is your feedback, and then you stay quiet until they talk. If it's 3 seconds, then you quiet 3 seconds. If it's 1 minute, you quiet 1 minute and you look at them. So what? How? And you look at them and you nod. And you wait for them to tell you. It works, guys. It really brilliantly works. So then they will really tell you what is the feelings, what they want to. Maybe something was missing. So then he will try to, by you asking this question, how they feel, they will subconsciously, while they answering you the question, they will sell themselves, because they will end up saying, oh, thank you much for the presentation. It was great. And it's amazing technology. I never seen this before. I think it's really, really cool. I'm glad that we met. You see, kind of he replying in your question, but then he replying to himself that it's awesome opportunity. I'm so grateful. I'm glad that you told me about this. So he start building his own confidence himself. And that is the best, because I can tell you amazing holidays, I can tell you about amazing experiences I've done in Asia, but unless you sold this for yourself, you will not act. Unless you know that, okay, I will have the same experience as she does. This is cool holiday for me because I can do A, B, C, D. Only then you will make your choice. I want to go for this holiday. But if I'm talking to you about the holiday and about experience I have done, and we are not connecting, you might say, okay, cool, I'm happy for you. And that's it. See the difference? So therefore, once you talk to people, it is not a monologue. It is not just about you, blah, blah, blah. Your presentation is 15 minutes. So you talk for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You don't talk for an hour. You don't talk in hours. You talk 15, 20 minutes. The rest of the time is dialogue, because you need to feel the person next to you. You need to build the rapport. And only by having a dialogue, you can build the rapport with the person. So therefore, when you provide them with the option, when you go to number 6, you need to ask the question and you stop when you hear an answer. Number 7, which is the closing. So you ask the person, so after he provided with all the feedback, he said, well, amazing. It seems like we have really good feed, very good feed from what I actually, that's why I want to have a meeting, because I also felt on the same page like you are. And that's why I wanted to see you. So what I need to do now, probably go through some website. I will send it to our official website. I will send it to you link where you can go and register yourself, get yourself inside, have a look what is inside of the back office. We have different educational tools as well, but we have lots of information and news inside. So I'll provide you with link. Please make sure that you register, that you start learning what is inside of our back office. You get yourself familiar with the company, and if you need to do any due diligence, let me know what materials. I can forward it to you on your email. And then your next meeting, you do appointment for next meeting. And this is important. You can ask the person on your closing part. So now you learn everything. You seems like you like it. So are you looking into how much you think you wanted to invest? If the person will say, well, I don't know, I'm looking about 1,000. Perfect. Don't comment on this. Don't say it's too much, too little. You just want to get the feedback. So you shake the hand, say, okay, 1,000. Perfect. Very happy for you. I will be happy to assist you. This is my link. Make sure you register it. And that's it. So next time I see you, probably in 2 days. So you think 2 days will be enough for you to go through all this to register yourself. So then we can have a follow-up meeting. And follow-up meeting it's very important. And that's where 70% of the people who started, they will fail because they will try to do the sale, or they will try to make person invest in a fast meeting. And that is wrong. The purpose of first meeting is to have a second meeting. Write it down. The purpose of having a first meeting is to have a second meeting. That is the purpose of first meeting. You do the presentation, you go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You ask person how much he wants to invest just to see where he is, and you put it somewhere in your diary, because you would be surprised after due diligence, after people register and they go through back office, when they see a second time, there is a big probability that they will upgrade the package. And again, don't forget about pain and gain factor. The longer they wait, the interest will go down. That's how it usually works in sales environment, in business development. You need to work with the people while they are motivated, when they're ready, when they want to take the action. If you will have a meeting with him next month, by the time your meeting comes, you will see that it drops. The interest span very short, and usually people, if they're excited and they like something now, they want to do it like, okay, let's do it now, let's have a look at it now. Next week I will be busy, I have like other things, I have my kids to look after, I'm a very busy person. So is there anything, let's meet tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Make sure you do this in every single meeting, that you arrange the next appointment. You don't need to do face-to-face second appointment. You can do on Skype, you can do on Zoom, but the purpose of second appointment is actually help the person to invest and help them to do verification, or help them to to understand what will be the next steps for them. This will be the second meeting, because you share with them link. They have done, let's say, registration. They might not sure how to do verification. They might not sure where to invest. So you would say, okay, let me have a second meeting with you so I can help you and I can guide you. You can do this all in one go in a fast meeting, but again, it will take lots of time. And usually when people are making the first decision, like I want to invest with a 5, if you give them a bit more time to go back and have a look and build more confidence, they will end up investing more than what they said initially. Again, you can do the test yourself, but if you do everything in the right order, if you build the momentum in the correct way, and you provide and you follow up with the people, you provide them your registration link, you have a next meeting arrangement, you send them investment memorandum, a few files to build the confidence. So next time when you have a call with them, they will be ready. Okay, this call, I will need to fill out my profile, do verification, and do investment and discuss next steps. And you and that person will not be that exhausted, because you don't want to make heavy meetings. You don't want to have meetings for 2-3 hours, because when you have a very long meeting and something goes wrong, the card is declined, the person like, oh my gosh, you've been here for 2 hours and now the card doesn't work. So you see, again, it will be all sort of, we will look more the negative thing. The person would not say, what a brilliant 2 hours, everything is amazing, the card just doesn't work, so what? You will have, some people might be like this, it's amazing to work with these people, but majority of the people, they will use this, like, you see, like, that's what it is, and he or she will be negative about that. And when he'll go home, he will think about, oh, something dodgy, if the card doesn't work, maybe it means that the bank don't want to accept the payments, or why is that? Maybe because they're Ponzi scheme. You see, like, providing too much it's too bad. So it's better to eat the elephant by pieces. So one more time, the step number 1, which is just invitation, short and simple. Step number 2, which is the presentation, which we just went through with you, all of it. And the step 2.1 is actually second meeting, which you do with the person online or offline, up to you. And you put the objects of the meeting as well in front. So you said that we are meeting a second time because I will give you a bit of guidance in the back office. I will show you what are the different packages. So we'll show you inside of the back office, and then I will help you with verification. So then you know what, and I will help you with verification, and I will explain you what are the next steps for you. If the person wants to do the business, I will go through some materials which you can use today to make sure that you promote this business globally. That's it. So then person, he will look forward for that meeting because he know there is so many things still to cover, and that will be the right strategy you use while you invite people, while you do the presentations. And if you're going to do 5 meetings per day, which is our target, and this is targets for those people who wanted to be successfully integrated full-time to the business. He doesn't want to work for anyone else. He wants to have a freedom. He wants to work from anywhere in the world. If you want to have balance working life, or not even working life, I couldn't even call it working life, but your balanced lifestyle, then you need to start to do the 5 presentation per day. The first one will be difficult because you might have all this resistance. You might wake up on one day like, oh my gosh, I don't have any meetings, I don't have any people. It's fine. We all been through this. Trust me, it's all fine. There is impossible for you to go for new job and you straight away promoted to managing director because you're awesome. It will take some time. So it is a new business for you. Treat this as a business. Treat that this is my business. It's not Andre's business. This is your business. You decided to partner with Dr. Unitsky. You decided to partner with Andrei Havratov. Dr. Unitsky provided you with the instrument, with the product, sorry, and Havratov provided you with instrument. And you are business entity. So you combine this both. You combine the product. You combine the instruments. You combine them together, and you are business entity. You are entrepreneur, and you need to start planning your days, planning your weeks, planning your months, plan ahead. Because success of your business, it depends only on you. Because product is working, product is now certified, and instruments are working well. So there is a saying that I don't remember who said it, but it's so true. The system will not fail. People will fail. So it's not the system is bad. It's people who cannot implement for various reasons. And I'm not saying that people are bad. People are not bad either. But there is, if you feel you're unsuccessful, it's not because the system is shit. It's because you either not using it in the right way, or maybe you need some extra guidance, or maybe you're lacking of some information, or maybe you're lacking something, or maybe you have some blocks which does not allow you to go further. Then you need to seek for guidance. You need to seek for help. And the first person who you should go back and ask for help is your person who invited you to the business. You have this in the back office. If you click at the help button, it's going to be on the top of the page, personal assistant or personal something. You will see 2 people. Person number 1 is your direct sponsor, person who invited you to business. And second person will be the highest person in your network. So it will be someone who, or maybe top manager or leader manager. So you will see these 2 people. So priority number 1 for you to go for the person who invited you to the business. If this person cannot provide you with the right information, or if this person himself doesn't have right knowledge, then your priority number 2, second person. If second person is also can provide you with the support, he's or she's not replying and they're useless, then you go back to either myself or Armand. Then we can help you and we can guide you and provide you with all support. But this is how you should look at it. You don't just jump straight away to me or Armand, because it will be impossible to work with everyone. And we have a structure for reason. And usually leaders who invited you to the business, if not them directly, but person above them, they have the top job title, like top managers or leader managers. These people, the majority of the cases, well, 95%, they know their stuff and they know the business inside out, because that's only how they can reach the highest status. So that's 2 will be your priorities. Your sponsor, person above your sponsor, and then myself or Armand. For some of you, I will be the second person, so feel free to talk to me as well. For some of you, I will be a first person. Likewise, feel free to talk to me. As you know, as people who work with me knows, I'm always trying to respond within like few days, unless I'm traveling, and I can always have some calls and follow up meetings. That is not a problem at all. So please use these tools. They're all there for you. So that's pretty much that's it on the business side. Are you guys clear? Do you now understand how to do your invitation to meetings and how to do your meetings itself? What is the structure? What do you need to do? How you need to break down? Are you all clear now what to do next and how to invite people to do the business with us? Give me some feedback. Don't just put pluses. Give me a bit of your feedback. I want to know. I want to hear from you as well. Okay, guys, you don't have a feedback, or can you hear me? Okay, thanks, Elena. Thank you, Mila. Really useful. Marisa, I can explain you back office. What was the question? The back office. Yes, the role play examples are excellent, which aid understanding. Making it very clear. Okay, great. Let me just show you what I mean about the back office. I will just show you where you can get this information about your sponsor and person who invited you to the business. And be more active. What have we learned today? Maybe for some of you, well, for 80% of you, it's new information. So tell me, are you gonna planning to use it yourself? Is this something probably you didn't realize before? Like, be more involved. Today's training, and I'm doing it for you guys, not for myself. I know all this stuff, so I want to hear some feedback from you, not like positive comments. I want to hear feedback, constructive feedback. Okay, so here, help. You see help button, personal consultant. So here, help, personal consultant, and you'll see person who invited you to the business. Taking some time. So cards of inviting member. So Anata, she invited me to the business, and I can see all her details. So if I ever need help, I can help. I can send you a message, Skype, or email. Pardon me?
Can you go a little bit back, because I was a little bit too late when you started with this part, because I cannot type. I don't have the section to type.
Okay, can you see my back office?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, you see help button here, help personal consultant?
Yes.
So you click on my personal consultant and you see two people. Person number one, person who directly invited you, and person number two is the higher person in your structure. So if I would have any question, my priority would be person who invited me. So I will either call, or I will add to Skype, or will email. If this person, if Anatosh is not replying to me, then person number two will be Armand, because he is top ranking in my structure. So I will go to him if I need any help. And again, I can see his telephone number, his Skype, and his email address. So you should have exactly same two people in your back offices. So person number one who invited you, person number two, the top here hierarchy person in your structure. Yeah. So that's where you can find your people. Could you please explain?
I have one more question.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, Sasha. Go
What
ahead.
is the difference between statistics and the bonus structure?
Statistics and bonus
I
structure.
have two different. Yeah, so basically by the wallet you see main wallet and bonus wallet, and then
Yeah.
underneath that one you see the statistics, and I don't know what that is because I have a
Okay.
number there, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, statistics is actually provide you all statistics like of your activity. So if you click statistics, then you go here, and you would be able to see sort of your activities. Like if you, let's say, you wanted to have a look your original report, which means that you want to have a look at your structure to understand where your people coming from. You see, like for example, registration wise, 61% not specified. I'm not sure what this means. Why it's not specified? It should be UK. 26% of people in my structure are from India. Some of them South Africa, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, France. So you can see your statistics. So this will be your overall statistics for your network. So you can see the pie chart. What is the registration number, from what region, customers, what region, sales, from where you have a sales, investment. So everything breaking down by percentage, which country will providing you with the more sales. And this is the tools which you need to use. It's all in statistics. So then you would be able to see, like for example, majority of my sales or my structure sales coming from India and United Kingdom. So these are two main markets, which almost 90% of my business. So therefore, I will concentrate on these two markets because that is where I have my larger network. So you need to use the statistics for you to understand where your network is growing. So statistics tools is there for you to do to analyze. So you see in your statistics have regional reports, which is there. You have a general information, which is overall referrals, conversions, how many clicks you have, attracted investments. So everything is here. Partner rewards, accrual history. So if you just go through like back office, you would be able to find every single like data on what is going on in your structure. So let's say if I want to know commissions, then you go to accrual history and you can choose if you want to look how many commission you receive from a day, from a week, or 2 weeks. So you just click it, and then you will be able to see all your bonuses for a day or for 2, for a week, and etc. So this is your tool to analyze how good you do business, because you need to know statistics. You cannot just grow the network without you learning about numbers, because how then you can maximize, or how can you build a strategy if you don't understand where your growth is coming from? So how are you going to put your targets if you don't know what is the commissions you do per month, per week, or per day? So therefore, this is very important, and we covered this in much more detail during the profit training. So therefore, for every one of you who wanted to do business and who wanted to become representative, who wanted to work with the big investors in the projects, it is compulsory for you to finish Master Profit Training, which is 2 days training. I will provide you with dates probably in a week time or 2 weeks time. It's going to be next year. 4 entire months. We do twice a week online training where we teach our students how to work within the business, very similar to what I done here, but much more detail. So we go through role plays and we go through every single detail. We talk about investment into much details. We talk about how to create portfolios. We talk about business systems. We talk about project initiation. So everything you ever would need for you to build a successful business, it's covered in Master Profit Training. And there are 2 ways how you can get inside of the Master Profit Training group. Option number 1 is you become either Express consultant or Express manager by investing it in one go. Or second is you paying for training, which is 1,500. You can pay from your commissions. It doesn't need to be like your personal money. But once you have access to this training, after you qualify, after you finish your training, after you do all the homeworks and you successfully pass the training, then you would be able to take your business to complete the next level, but most importantly, you would be able to work with the regions, you would be able to open up offices, and you would be able to work with the big investors and so on and so forth. So that's for someone who really wanted to go to the next level. Because what I explained today, this is just the top of iceberg. In Master Profit, we describe everything much more detail, and even statistics in back office. We also do lots of exercises where you would need to go to statistics and learn how to use the figures and analyze them so you can see how your business grow. Yeah. Okay, moving forward. IPO, initial public offering. IPO. Could you please explain, if time allows, about how SCAV is better, will bring more money to people compared with the Bitcoin? I guess like this one again, probably not now, because I don't want to keep this training for only a few hours, and we already been talking for 2 hours. It's good to use the comparison. So you just need to open up back office, you need to open up investment, and just to compare what is the potential for the Bitcoin. Like what is the Bitcoin today, how much it costs today, and what is the projection of the Bitcoin price for the next year, let's say. And you compare, once you invest in Skyway, what is the amount of shares or pre-IPO equity shares you have, and what is the market potential for the shares with the next 2 to 5 years. So if you do this comparison, so you will realize that in Skyway, like it's incomparable. Like for example, you can invest today 10,000 in Bitcoin and you will have, well, probably 0.9 of Bitcoin, right? And the maximum Bitcoin potential is the Bitcoin will reach 1 billion. One Bitcoin could reach 1 million by 2104, which is in 100 years, which means that none of us will experience this. So you having this one Bitcoin will never reach 1 million. So you're probably talking about next 50 years where potentially one Bitcoin could reach maybe, let's say, 500,000. Okay, good, 500,000. And like 20 years, one Bitcoin, 500,000. Let's say the best case scenario. But in Skyway, let's say you invest the 10,000, you already receive 1.4 million pre-IPO equity shares, which are minimum in 2 to 4 years will be $1.4 million in 2 years, 2 to 4 years, not 20 years. And plus with the Skyway, when you invest in Skyway, you receive the passive dividends, which is another profit will pay, which already covered, which you would not have in Bitcoins. So basically, if you compare invest in a Skyway today in Bitcoin, it's incomparable because Skyway can give you better financial rewards than Bitcoins ever can give you. Make sense? So that's how you should compare with your partners. What is the price? Use the 10,000 as the sort of to make figures easier, but that's how you can compare, and that's how people will think like, oh wow, it's actually making sense. You're welcome, Martina. It's quite a technical question, but anyway, maybe you know an answer. What is the maximum speed that Unibike reached now? At the moment, it's 105 kilometers an hour. 105. Listen recording. If you missed the some part of the session, then go to recording. I will provide recording today as well. And Anata, she'll do marketing campaign and she'll provide you with the recorded link for all people who attended Saturday and Sunday event. So you'll have your recording. All right, so let's move on to last session, which is again very important. Today is a very important day, and guys, if you will learn what I mentioned to you today and you combine it with what you learned in the last training, you can be so successful to our business. And it's very important to in our business to work with your mindset. And mindset is the key, because no matter how good the opportunity is, no matter how good the business is, it's all about your perception. Perception creates reality. So if you look at the thing from the negative side, the outcome will be negative reaction or negative feedback from the people. If you look within the world, if you look at any situation, and you lose and you taking everything as the experience, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, but you take this as experience and you learn from it, then you will always progress fast in life. I'm not saying that you need to look at positives everywhere. That is wrong, and I don't want you to be happy if shit happens. Shit happens for a reason, but it's all about acceptance. The bad thing is happened and good thing is happened. They both need to happen for you to grow. You cannot have only positive, the fly and butterfly, and you cannot close the eyes on the things which are negative, because both of them, positive and negatives, they are both experience which we need to experience for us to become who we are. And the majority of the cases, the bad experiences, they actually will make the person to go extra mile. The bad experience will make you to, desire something bigger. And we have amazing examples of Tony Robbins, when if you look at his history, he started with very bad family, and his mom treated him like a shit, and he been through such a difficult life. Because of that difficulties, he become who he is now. He affects and impacts in lots of people's lives, and that's because of this bad experience. So therefore, when you do our business, you will have a bad days and good days, and it's fine. It's all about what is your perception. I need both. I need good days and bad days, because we live in a world where it's black and white. You can't have everything just white. The world will collapse. We need to have some resistance and forces. We need to have some people who will tell us, no, it's shitty business, it's pyramid. So then it will allow you to learn how to respond on this in the correct way. We need to have people who will tell us, you know what, it will never happen. So then you can say, you know what, I don't know what's your belief system, but I know it will happen because this and this and this. You will build the confidence inside of you because of the negative comments and negative situation. So therefore, we work a lot and we talk a lot in Master Profi. And entire first session is actually all about your mindset, and the session lasts for 4 hours. So I will only cover a little bit what is the formula of success, and this is privately taken from Andrew Havratov coaching sessions he done for his student of academy. So it's very profounded. It's very it works, and I experienced this myself many times. And I guess I can really tell why I'm successful. It's also because I'm always working on my mindset. I'm always working on the things which I will cover with you in this session. So let's have a look. What is the formula of your dreams? The first, for you to have a formula of your dreams, you need to have a dream. So what is the dream? Dream is the lifestyle. So when we talk about dream, is not a car, is not a phone. We're talking about the dreams, our dreamland. So if you talk about your lifestyle, so imagine how would you want to live the next 5 years, so next year, maybe next 10 years. So what country you want to live? Do you want to have a certain house? Do you want to have certain relationships? Do you want to have a certain business? So when you talk about the dreams, you're talking about the bigger picture. What is your lifestyle? Desire. Desire is the components which your dream made of. So desire will be, I'm desired to have a Tesla car because I think it's awesome and it's ecological friendly, and I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. I desire to have, to own the island in the middle of Caribbeans because I always wanted to have an island. Whatever it is, but you need to have your desires. You need to know what exactly you need for you to have to fulfill your dreamland. So dreamland, the dreams is something bigger. We're talking about the lifestyle, while desire, it will be what I want. I want to have this, this, and this, and this. And if I have all this, then I will have desired lifestyle, which means my dreamland will be completed. Under desire, you have a beliefs. You can have your perfect dreams. You can have your dream board when you put the stickers, and you know what car you want, how much the car costs, what design, what leather, how you will feel when you use the car, about your house, about your relationship, everything. But if you don't believe that you're worth it, if you don't believe that you deserve it, if you don't believe that you're good enough, you will never achieve it, unfortunately. Our belief system dictate us how we perceive the world. Our belief system is fundamentals, how we see what is the reality for us. If you look at much more deeper level, we all consist from energy, right? If you look at the human being, so we have a flesh and we have a bones. What are the flesh and bones? They're made from molecular. We have our DNA. What is made our DNA? It's like if you go to, if you break it down, everything, you will realize that you will reach the point where it's only atoms, and atoms made from energy. So we all energy, even though some objects are hard, some objects are soft, but we are all pure energy. And the way how we see the world, the way like all the situations happen to us, this is the experience which we need to go through for us to take our spirit to the next level, or for us to upgrade our ourselves in future lives, if you believe in future lives, or whatever experience your soul needs to have. That's why we've been sent here to do whatever we meant to be doing. But it's all kind of go back to your belief system. So if you believe that you always having like bad opportunities, or you're never good enough, or if you believe like no, it's a good thing only happen to other people, or if you believe that money is root of evil, or if you believe like I will never find the big investors because I don't know where to find them because I'm small, then that's how you will like, that is reality you put in for yourself. So therefore your belief system needs to be very strong. You need to know like, you need to be like a stone, but it needs to be not cold. It needs to be flexible. So it's sort of combination of person who can receive, who can analyze, who can make their own decisions, but your outcome should be how to add value, not just to myself so I can earn my money, but how can I add value to other people? So as a result of adding value, I would have whatever I need in monetary world, so I can buy my desires, I can buy the cars I want, I can buy the houses I want, and as a result of it, I can live in my dreamland because I deserve it, because that's what I want, because this is experience I want to for myself. Make sense? So they are very important. Dreams, desires, and beliefs. They are spiritual, emotional, and this are, again, you will need to work within inner yourself on the spiritual, emotional side. Going further, you have your goals. What are the goals? Let's say you desire to have a car. So you need to be, you need to specify. So what is your goal? You want to have a car by end of the 2018, or do you want to have a car by the January 2018? What sort of car? How much money this car? What sort of the model of this car? So you need to have a specific goals. And for goals planning, there's a very good concept which I learned actually from university. It's called SMART. So your goals, they need to be SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, as specific, measurable, A, achievable, R, realistic, and T, smart, with time frame, with a specific time frame. Smart. You just Google SMART. You will find this what is mean each and explanation. So your goals, that needs to be SMART, and when you do the once you know what's your goals, the second step would be planning. So you need to put the plan together. It's cool to have your goals, but again, if you don't plan when, how, then these are just goals which never be achievable. Because again, one thing is having goals, but another thing is actually put this in your financial plan. And again, that is the reason why I told you previously how important is to have a financial plan, because financial plan will be outcome of your goals. The financial plan will be based on your goals, and outcome of your goals would be your dreamland. Because if you don't know how to achieve your goals, what is the chance that you will ever have them? And if you will never have your goals, which means that you will never have your desired cars or desired house, then how would you ever end up living in your dreamland? It's not like you wake up in the morning and ta-da, happy day, everything I ever wanted is just here in front of me. It will never happen. So you need to create it. And for you to create it, you need to know what are the components. And for you to know what are the components, so you need to see what I need to do to get these components. And our marketing plan, this is your planning process. So let's say if you want to have a car, you have a goal to have a certain car, you know what color, what who is maker of the car, you know how much the car costs, you know when you want to have a car. Now you open the marketing plan, you look at the commission structure, and you start thinking, okay, so the car costs 30,000. I have in my plan, my financial goals in my plan. I want to have this car in 5 months, which means I need to divide 30 by 5, which is 6. So I need to get 6,000 per month for me to put aside, so I can, after 5 months, I can have the car, which is 30,000. So how can I get 6,000 per month? Open the marketing plan, have a look what is the figures. That's commission of that figures will be 6,000. And you don't need to look at only level 1. So you can have a look, well, I have myself and I have other people, let's say my mom account or my daughter account. So what if I put this investment on the daughter account? So she will receive 7 and I receive 8, so to get the 15. So what is sum of money I need to have so I can put aside 6,000 per month based on 15% commission structure? Make sense? So that's how you do planning. After you completed the planning, you start doing actions. And actions are very important because, again, you can have all your dreams, desires, you believe that you're worth it, your belief system is strong, you have your goals, you plan them, but if you don't act, what is the chance that you will ever achieve them? Chances very tiny. Chances equal to 0. You can dream a dream, but if you'll never act, it will stay as a dream. So therefore, it's crucial for you to do your goals, to do the planning, and to act on it. And that's why we have weekly meetings. That's why we have a conference. That's why we have a webinars. So you can act. If you feel like, I'm not I don't have enough skills to go and talk to people myself, there are always some people who are there to help you, to assist you. And I have a very good example. When one of the friend of mine, when she started to do the business, well, now we are all friends, so I definitely treat her as a friend. She had a full-time job, and she was not able to do the presentation herself, so she will send the people to the office, and I will adapt doing the presentation myself. And as a result of it, she earned almost 4,000 purely in commission. And her job was just to send people to office, and I was doing the presentation. She learned from me as we go, but then it didn't stop her to bring the people, because some of you might think, I don't know information yet fully, so let me first learn and then I will do. This is really big mistake, because if you don't do, then you will end up postponing it every time. So you're not ready today, you might not ready to be tomorrow, then next week you might not be ready because now we have another information, but you haven't even completed all the information. So in our company, we're developing so fast, and it's always something new. It's always something to learn. Even myself, I learn every day something new about technology or some latest news, some latest development. So you will never stop learning. So therefore, don't wait until you're ready. Make sure that you do the first, which is invitation to meeting. You invite people. You provide them with a video, at least something brief, so they understand what is the meeting all about. You invite them for the conference in office, so you invite them for online webinars. Then girls, they deliver the content, they motivate everything they do for you, and your job will be to follow up with the person and confirm the next meeting. And next meeting, you explain how to use the back office, how to do investment, and so on and so forth. But you never wait for you to start act. You put everything together, you have your goals, you have your plans, now you act, now you do the stuff. And that's how you can learn fast, and that's how you can start talking to people from today. You don't have to wait till you learn. Start doing it today. Ask when is the next presentation in office or next webinar, and start inviting people for next presentation, next webinar. But don't wait until you're ready, because then you might never be fully ready. You know what I mean? So please don't just wait. Do the action, go through this, experience this, and that's how you can learn fast as well. So in terms of planning, goals, planning, actions, they are physical process which you would need actually sit down, take the pen and paper, and you need to write them down. You need to break them down. Now let's have a look in terms of importance and focus. When you just started, let's say you're a new person to the business, 80% like importance needs to be spent on the spiritual, emotional. You need to know what are your dreams. You need to know what you desire. You need to be strong in your beliefs. You need to work at your spiritual and emotional side. It could be motivation videos. It could be a dream board. It could be a collage, or it could be an essay. You can write yourself a letter from future you to present you. Like you can do so many things to boost up your confidence that yes, I can do it. Yes, I deserve it. Yes, I will do it. Watch some documentary about the people who become successful. Like boost your confidence to the level where you feel like, yes, that's it. That's mine. I'm unstoppable. I'm going to do it. I'm committed. I will do it. So once this is done, once you're strong with your emotional and in your mindset, then your focus will switch. Then 80% will be your physical process, which are goals, planning, and actions. So 80% of your time you will end up afterwards on your actions, on your planning, on your goals. It will be on your monthly basis, on your weekly basis. What is the goal for this month? What is the plan? How much money I need to bring? Okay, now I know the figure, I go and deliver. And that will be unstoppable. This will be your life for the next, I don't know, 6 months if you wish. If you want to be in business for next years. But what I can promise you, if you will treat this as your own business, if you will take this as like a responsible person who wanted to become successful, then it's first 2 months are crucial. First 2 months, you will work extremely hard. You will have 5 meetings per day. You will realize that some people calling you at night, early morning. You will be busy. But after 2 months or 3 months, for some people 1 month, the system will start, picking up and people will start work for you. Then you will realize that, okay, now I have few leaders. So I'm not necessarily looking for 5 meeting call by myself. Now these people send people to me. So then you will start to see the growth. And you can only see the growth if you work hard yourself to find the right leaders. So therefore, duplication is very important. Sorry, I started losing my voice. And you need to have a right team to work with. So if you're ready for that, if you want to reach your financial goals, if you want to become financially independent and then financially free, now you have a best business ever. This opportunity wouldn't last that long. As you know, we are going to stage 11, 12, 13, 14, 50, and that's it. So next year will be the year when we will finish the technology funding completely. So for some of you, if you're new to the business, you need to start acting now, because the closer we are to stage number 15, right, then the lesser opportunity for you to share with the people to become part of the main company. And only when people are part of the main company, they will receive the lifelong dividends from every single project ever created. So we have the best time to be involved in the businesses now. So be prepared for next few months to work hard. It's amazing timing now. We have a Christmas coming, we have a new year. So it's the best time for you to work on your emotional and spiritual, but also do the planning, put your goals, and make sure that you act on it. And you will see that from next year, if you do 5 meetings per day for the month or 2 or 3, because I know some of you have a job, maybe you cannot do 5, but you can do 3. So therefore, for 1 month to 3 months, but you will achieve amazing results, because opportunity like this, no one else can offer. There is not a single competitor exists today in the market who can offer what we're offering, guys. We have people today who earn like crazy money in a company just because they did do more. They don't want to stop. And it's not necessary that you work in like as one, you work as the team. So only for the first months when you build your team, you might feel like, it's lots of pressure because it's me and I built the team. But I can promise you, once you find the people who wanted to do what you do, it will be 100 times easier. And you always have a people like like myself, like Armand, like Madi, Aneta, Alena, they're in a business, and Jula, they're in a business like full time. So you can always go back to them, and you can also share with them and say, listen, I feel like really down, or I'm not sure. Can you help me? Something maybe missing, or something doesn't work the way I thought it will work. It's difficult. So please do share with us, because you're not alone anymore. Just to finish, I guess, our session, I know for share with you a little story. Like 1.5 years ago, when I started, to be involved like full time in this business, I remember Armand. He was really struggling, because he was there. Like, he had the partners in UK, but it was like he was there just by himself. He could not find people who would be on the same page with him, because there were some investors, but they didn't want to do the business, and there were some people who wanted to do the business, but they never act on it. And I still remember, like, as if it happened like yesterday, when he called me and he said, Mila, I want to open office in UK. Do you want to be my business partner? Like, let's do it together, because I really believe that you have a really good set of skills, and we can grow together much more faster. And this, it's really changed it changed my life big time, but it also changed Armand's life big time. But it's also impacted huge the company, and many people, many of you here also, because of that decisions that Armand once made, and decided to translate everything in English, and then decided to let's open office in UK. So you see, we all connected to each other anyway. So why not like connect with each other more frequently, not necessarily only when it's good time, but also when it's bad time, because that's what the team designed for. Team is there to support. You have all the details, and you can always, share, be more active, be more proactive. Nothing is stopping you. You can come up with own strategies. You can try it to implement. You can come up with maybe with a different way how you perceive this business. Share with us your story. I'm sure we all here have something to share, and we have all unique skills. Some people may be good with the social media, so let's use this tool. Some people may be good to making some movies. Let's use this. Some people may be an artist, so let's do the concert, and we can invite people to the concert, and we can do little Skype presentation during the concert. I mean, guys, we don't have a limit here, and that's the thought I want to leave you for today. We don't have a limit here. You can work with whatever, like, you can use your all imagination, and look what you're good at, and start acting on it. If you ever dreamt to work with the teenagers, maybe we can have a look and open department where we can work with the teenagers. If you want to emphasize on working with the, I don't know, some charities, why don't we come up with some proposal when we can sign the people who are members of the charities, and we can somehow to do something together. Like, again, there is so many things which you can explore, and it's uncaptured market potential. There's not a single company who do what we do, and you're all entrepreneur, you're all businessman for your own business, and only your decision will impact your business. It's nothing deal for the, all the company is everything is in Russian. This is not the case. Lots of materials are in English. It's just you need to know where to go and where to click, but then we have people who can guide you. There's some people who complain about the payment. I know the payment system could be, a big paid, but then there are other options which are working well. So you as a leader, it's all come down to you, what information you portray to your partners, and they will follow you because they will perceive you as the leader. And you're not here alone. We have an amazing team, and we're growing super fast. So if some of you today thinking about open offices, again, it will be the best time, but make sure you first finish the master profit training, and then we can discuss what are other countries we can expand and grow. So that will be pretty much it from my side for today. Hopefully you learned something new. Give me some feedback, please. And if you have any questions, let's go through Q&A, and we will finish for today. Yes, recording. I will provide recording after the session. I am new to the business. Please, can you send me by email the presentation to today's webinar by email? Okay, copied your Eltsana, who is your invite you? Who's your who person who invited you to the business? Do you know? I can also have a copy of survey. Thank you, Eltsana Jeffers. If you, I copy pasted your email, but it will be good. Who's your sponsor? Who person? I don't like word sponsor. Who's person who invited you to the business? Okay, thank you, Elena. Madi. Okay, perfect. So, Madi, if you can liaise, with Elsana, that will be good, and to share with her information. That will be awesome. Great. Well, guys, so tell me, was it useful? Have you learned something new today? Provide me a bit of feedback, not just positive comments, but tell me what maybe something new. Do you understand how to use the formula of your dreams? Why it's important to have this, each step, to complete each step, and how this can really impact your business today? Thank you, Daniel. That's why I love to do live events, because you can feel the energy in live events. Here, people seems like they more reluctant or more relaxed, let's say. Can it feel your energy, guys? Completely right. Mindset, it matters. Absolutely, Marissa. Yeah, mindset matters big time. And that's the only reason why people will fail, is because of their mindset. System never fails, people do. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Well, it seems like you don't have any other comments. So thank you so much for those who shared, for those who contributed. I feel really grateful that you are, taking your time today, and I hope it was really useful for you guys. So I'm looking forward to see some results, and make sure while we are in a Christmas mood and New Year is coming, you do your goals, you do your planning, and you do your actions. It's very important. Make sure that from the next year you have everything fully ready to take your business to completely next level. And don't forget, we have Emirates trip, which happened by the end of the March, which is the first trip, or first Emirates trip, but it's first training for managers and above. So therefore, if you wanted to meet with the company directors, if you wanted to receive the top training from Andre and our top leaders, then you definitely should be on the trip. It's 1 week, all inclusive. We're gonna go to Emirates, to Oman, by cruise ship. So it's going to be amazing experience. We're going to have lots of fun, but we're going to also work hard. And this is the corporate event, so you will see all directors. You have amazing time to also put yourself out and say, I'm a leader, I'm committed, I want to do this business, I'm serious. So make sure that you put this in your planning. Make sure that if you don't have information, ask on chat. We can provide you with all information. Also in the back office, you have a banner. So if you click on the cruise banner, all information is there. So I wish you good Christmas and upcoming New Year. We might have one more webinar, which is the corporate webinar for everyone. Dates now to be confirmed, but I will keep you updated. It's going to be a webinar done by Andre, and I will translate him. He will provide us with some sort of the year overview, how 2017 went for us, and what was achievements, what was result, the group result. So make sure that you are there. And yeah, so I wish you a fabulous week. Really grateful for all of you that you have a time that you find this as a priority. And I wish you all the best, successful week, successful months. and I talk to you all later on. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Recording will be provided.